Hi everyone. Before we get started, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. If any part resonates, make sure you leave a comment below and make sure you're liking the videos that you're watching by clicking on the like or the thumbs up button. Now there are three wonderfully beautiful images in front of you. Today's topic is how will your dating or your courtship period might be with your future partner. It's a timeless reading. Pick any one image that you feel most drawn to. If you feel drawn to more than one image, you can check out both as well. Before we get into your reading, very quickly, just want to tell you about my services. If you want to opt for a private reading, you can reach out to me on Instagram. All the details are in the first post that I have pinned on my Instagram. I also do numerology readings. I also do Akashic. So any information that you need regarding the readings, you can reach out via Instagram. I also teach tarot card readings offline in Mumbai and also online in case you're based out of Mumbai. For details on that as well, you can reach out to me via my Instagram. Okay, without further ado, let's get started with your readings. Hi, pile number one. Those who have chosen the image on the extreme left, this is going to be a reading. And I have a lot of cards here that I've taken out for you. I'm not going to show you all of them immediately. I'll reveal each card one by one. Let me just assemble them. I did start a little bit chaotically today, so I'm not as organized as I usually am. Okay, so let me just, I think, open all the cards maybe. Okay, first I'm just using my Rider-Waite cards and I'm going to be opening them. What we have here is the Judgment, the Four of Wands and the Six of Cups. So cute. Okay, so the topic for the reading is that how will your dating or your courtship period is going to be with your partner. Okay, the first thing that I'm getting is I think your partner, whoever or whenever you meet them, it will almost feel like a dream come true, like you have been blessed with someone like them. Okay, what I'm also getting is a lot of you may find this partner after a very long time in your life. Like, you may have been single for a very long time, or you may have gone through something very turbulent in your relationships in your life, and when you will be pretty much at your absolute lowest and you would have done a lot of inner work. I would not deny, guys, there's a lot of inner work energy also in these cards. So when you would have done like a lot of inner work, you would have truly understood what it means to be neutral when it comes to companionship and romance, but at the same time be in alignment of receiving. I know what I'm saying may sound confusing, but yeah, there is just a lot of need for people in this pile to do the inner work. Or when you would have done the inner work, then this partner will mostly enter your life. I also feel they might kind of enter your life, when you've literally like given up. When you're like that, now there's no scope of like me meeting somebody. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. There's also a tiny energy of manifesting here, but I don't know, like, if you would understand that manifesting has to be done from a space of I am already fulfilled. Having a partner would only be a value add. It's not filling some gap. So there is that energy of manifestation also. But your dating or your courtship period with your partner is going to be absolute divine. First, you would feel like, oh, they are the answer to all my wishes, my prayers, my dreams. Okay. And I do feel as if it's kind of going to be a hush-hush affair when it comes to marriage. Like, you may meet them and you may immediately have certain conversations, realize when it comes to both of you that, oh, we are just like meant to be married. Or you may both come together at a point when you both just simply want to get married, when you want to solidify your relationship. And I think it's going to be a very quick affair that, you would just decide very soon with them that, oh, I'm going to marry you. Okay. Now, also, if you're going to be like in an arranged setup, because I don't know what piles have you chosen from the previous piles. And by the way, this is a series that I'm running, so you should be going and checking out my entire series. So I also feel as if for most of you, this could be like for people, who have opted for arranged marriage. And during your courtship period, you will uncover a lot of parts in your partner which would just feel like, this is all I wanted. I'm feeling so happy, like when I'm doing this reading. Beautiful, beautiful cards. For many, I also feel that, when you would start discovering them, when you would start hanging out with them, you would feel as if this is someone I have always known. Like, there is some either a past life connect, or this is just somebody that I always wanted. Like, it'll feel so easy that you would feel that how come it's so easy to understand each other? This is something that I've struggled with everybody in my life. And how come with you, it's so easy to understand you and to make myself understand to you? So I think that it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful courtship period as well. You're going to absolutely love it. There would be a lot of gifts, a lot of love filled in the courtship period. You would collectively do a lot of experiential things. Like, you might go on like fun dates, you might do things which are about travel, you might via activities also get to explore each other more, like get to understand the person. Okay, how does this person react, like when we are out in a situation like this? Oh, do they like this as a fun activity or not? So I think there's going to be like a lot of experiential based events and activities that you would participate in during your courtship period. I kind of also feel as if very early on or soon into the relationship, you might also get to represent each other, like, meeting each other's friends or attending weddings of each other's friends. Interesting. Yeah. Honestly, these are like some of the best cards when it comes to courtship period or your dating period. It would just feel like homecoming. Yeah, that's the word. There was some word that I felt like stuck here. Homecoming. One thing that is a little bit concerning is I would tell you to take it slow. And why that is concerning? Because I feel that this is going to be too good to be true. So a lot of you, may just be on the edge thinking about, oh, I'm just waiting for the day, when their mask will fall off. I'm just waiting for the time, when I'd realize that, oh, see, it was false. It was not as good as it seemed to be. So I sense a little bit of that energy. So building it slowly and using everything that you can to really make sense of the person is going to be more beneficial. Okay, now from my other deck, I have the Queen of Wands, King of Cups, and Eight of Cups. Interesting. I think I reconfirm what I just said. The way your future partner would be showing their love, their care towards you, how they would be taking charge, and doesn't matter what gender you are. If you're wanting a partner who's a male, I do see that male is going to be very different from the kind of experiences that you have had with males. This one's going to be like very much into showing the love. I'm getting a very Piscean energy, drowning you in love, very water sign energy, moon energy. So they'll be showing a lot of love to you, okay, which is going to be very unique and different to you. If you are looking for a female partner, this female is going to be somebody who also is independent, knows how to take charge, really knows how to support you. And this is again going to be very unique to you. So I feel that because of which what will happen is you'll get a little bit confused. There'll be a lot of unlearning that you will do in your dating and your courtship period, Okay, what do I mean by unlearning? Like, suppose if you're very hyper independent and your partner's there, they are happy to help you. You would have to unlearn that piece that, oh, I didn't have to do it alone. I just had to text them and then they take care of it for me. So that is going to be very new to you. As I said this, I feel as if somebody felt a pit in their stomach because I felt so. I must have picked on someone's energy. It's almost like that somebody just felt like, it hit home for somebody. Yeah. So we were at that there would be a lot of unlearning for you to do. And it's beautiful because it is from all this unlearning and from all this healing and self-work also, that you have done. But I think in the courtship period, you will kind of get to see it in practice. That what I knew intellectually, am I actually able to bring it to fruition? Am I able to take care of my emotions? Am I able to really love and receive love? And I think you will see all of that in your courtship period. It will be like a testing period only for you to understand if the work that you've done on yourself is enough or not, and to kind of unlearn your notions, your fears, your set understanding of how love or partnership or companionship should be or should not be. Okay, Two of Wands, beautiful. I think you both have really found your way to each other. I'm pretty sure, for a lot of people in this pile, your partner also must have been really seeking somebody. They must have been really wanting somebody since a very long time. And when you both will like come together, it'll really feel like, oh, I mean, it just makes sense. We were so meant to be that, of course, we could not have been with anybody else. It feels very, very beautiful. I also feel as if for some people in this pile, there is some past life connect with this person. The famous astrologer K.N. Rao says that your spouse or your partner is actually your enemy from some of your past lives. Like, that's how the strong karmic connection is. I do feel that for many of you, there is something to do with the past life, or you just have some connection with this person. This person had to come in your life. So when they will enter, you would not even mind the delay. Like, if you feel there has been some delay in your life. And it'll almost feel, I'm hearing this as if the whole world will come together to make it happen for you when the time is going to be right. The timing is something that's very important and impeccable. It's so weird, there's a star here, then there is a star here, and I actually just want to keep on looking at both these stars. I kind of also feel that, this might happen in your life when you would be in a very refreshing state of mind. Like, you would be somebody who would have built a lot of confidence in yourself, who would have taken a stronger charge of your life. Like, you would be very comfortable with yourself. Like I said, it would be such a nice comfort that anybody coming into your life would be a value add. It will not be that they're trying to fill in some gap. Although you may be in this energy right now, where it's like, oh, but I really need somebody. But I think when the time is going to be right, when this is going to happen for you, you would have become very neutral about all of this. So courtship period, again, I see a lot of unlearning for sure. And I also feel as if, you both will feel like, oh my God, we are such a force together. Like, when we are together, it's like a party. We make things happen. Things just work out. Like, you would just feel like, this power couple with your partner. How cute. Okay, now a bunch of other cards here. It is natural for my body to be well. I will love where I am right now. See, I told you, you'd have to be neutral. Why are they not getting what they are asking for? My desires and beliefs are only thoughts. Okay. Okay. First, I just want to read the imagery of the cards. I do feel as if a lot of you, might be in a very romanticizing mood and thought process right now when it comes to your partner. You might be in that zone, where you just want to visualize, you want to fantasize about them, you want to keep them in their dreams. I'm hearing that song by this Indian artist Sona Mohapatra. There is a song called Abhi Nahi Aana Sajna. Actually, do check it out. I think it's going to completely go with the mood of this pile. It's very beautiful. It's like Abhi Nahi Aana Sajna, Mujhe thoda tadapne do aur tarasne do. As you know, I'm not great at singing. So, yeah, I feel like that is the zone you are in right now. That, like, I am ready, but I don't know if I'm ready or not, but it's okay. I'll meet you in my dreams. So that is what is probably happening with you. I also feel as if some people in this pile, are kind of struggling with their body maybe a little bit, and they don't know if it's just the emotions, if it's generally their body, but like their body is suddenly not being as supportive as it should be. And advice overall from here is, first, build more positive thoughts, okay? Cultivate more stronger belief system. Like the card literally says, ask and it is given, so you have to really believe that yes, this can happen for you and you would have somebody like this. Then the second message is, why are you not getting what you're asking for? It's because you're holding desires which are out of alignment in regards to your own request. Meaning that your desire is, okay, let's say, like you want somebody who is in pop culture reference. Maybe let's take somebody like a Chandler or a Ross. Simple examples. Usually everybody has watched Friends. So you want somebody that's romantic, that's supportive, etc., etc. However, are you functioning like that in your life? Are you really giving yourself, are you a Rachel or a Monica? Like, are you that strong, fierce? Are you that indifferent also to the idea of love to an extent? Like, they both were wanting it, but they were not craving it to an extent where they put their self-worth down, okay? So what the card says is that, okay, you're fantasizing and dreaming and everything is fine, but do you really believe it? You have to do that. And second, are you in alignment where when you believe it, you're still not desperate for it? Whenever it'll happen, it'll be the right time. That'll be the time when you would be ready to receive it. And then, of course, I will love where I am right now. There's nothing that you can be, do, have, and want to assist you in achieving that. But you should love where you are right now. This is a bit confusing. There's nothing that you cannot be or cannot want to assist you in achieving what you want. However, love where you are right now. Because you have to understand the joyful journey to eventually go where you would want to go. I love how on these cards, they just write the most complicated English in terms of messages. But yeah, you have to love where you are right now. There needs to be a little bit of that surrender energy and patience and trust that it'll happen at the right time. I think for some people in this pile, you could also be actually not just in a fantasizing energy, but also in a slightly desperation energy. By the way, desperation actually means hopelessness. So that hopelessness, must be creating that stir inside you that, oh, it'll never happen for me, it'll never happen for me. I think you need to calm that down and truly learn the art of being indifferent. And it is natural for my body to be well. It's not that you have to actually think very positive. All these cards, they are trying to say, and even this one, that you just have to try to not think negative. That's about it. So instead of like turning everything around and being like, oh, I can't think anything negative and I have to also fill it with positive. No, what you can just do right now is maybe just not think negative. And you have to really also work towards developing that belief system and your inner work. I feel like repeating this again. A lot of the people in this pile, I think they have just intellectualized the wisdom. They just understand what to say, the right thing and whatnot. But I don't think they have done the right sort of work. And I think it's time that you do that right sort of work. I'm also constantly hearing this word called delirious. There is some level of being slightly delusional, over-exaggerated in your thoughts, in your belief systems. I will actually not try to decode it. I'll leave you with these two words. I am getting the words delirious and delusional and hopeless or desperation. I would want you to take these words, make of it what you might, and work on those, okay? Because your courtship period or your dating period is absolutely phenomenal. You just have to wait for the right time for this to happen. Now, I've got some other cards also here for you. Okay, it says thoughts. Oh, wow. Interesting. We just had a bunch of other cards which were signaling at thoughts. And here we have another card which says thoughts. So I think it's very important that you keep your thoughts positive. You have a strong belief system. And it's beautiful, how thoughts here actually has this dynamic of like one person painting somebody else. I think it's also important that, whenever like you're fantasizing or dreaming about this person, or like whenever like you're trying to consciously build positive thoughts, only think positive and try to bring it in your belief system. And I also feel a lot of you are just spending too much time romanticizing and dreaming and fantasizing about this person, which is actually not there just yet. Then we have great fortune. I don't know if I said it earlier or not. I should have actually. I think you're going to be doing phenomenal in your career right before you meet this person, and I also feel as if this person would be a good getaway into making you realize your potential and your capabilities. And this is all also something that you would kind of realize in your courtship period or your dating period. You would anyway start doing a lot more better in your career, good as per you in your career, before you meet this person. Then we have the card of a false person. There are two messages that I had here, when I saw this card earlier when I was taking out the cards. First is, for very few of you, there might be a choice between two people, okay? And one of them is going to be false. And this is going to be the time where you actually, how I said that there's a lot of meeting friends of your partner and like representing your partner energy in this pile. I think some of you may have choices between two people. So there will be a choice between two people. One of them may turn out to be false, and you would have to be very discerning. That's one message. The other message is, if this doesn't happen and if you have like one person only that you're seeing, I think you may just feel very cautious in the initial phase. Like, you would be waiting for them to reveal themselves and then turn out to be like the wrong person or show their true colors. That's because there's so much of like other sorts of baggage that you're carrying. And the fact that your belief system does not really believe that good can happen to you when it comes to romance. So you might just constantly be waiting on them telling on themselves that, oh, I want them to reveal themselves. I know it's going to happen. I know that something is wrong. So these are the two messages. Regardless, I would tell you to be very discerning of the person that you meet with, and make sure that you meet enough of your friends and family and you take in what people are telling you about them, okay? And then make your judgment. Because if they're going to be right, there might be a lot of great stuff your people around you might tell you, which might actually help you. Okay, now have the other two cards. For this, I'll have to actually read the book. It's funny, the card numbers are 23, 32. So one of the card here, which actually has the mice, says nagging feelings, fear, deterioration, worry, small sum of money. I genuinely feel that, people in this pile have not had like great experiences when it comes to romantic relationships. I actually feel you may have had like some very terrible ones, okay? So I think a lot of the fear and nagging feelings and worry is going to like crop up when you are in your courtship or your dating period with this person. You might just feel, oh, what if, something goes off? Will I be able to handle it or not? Which I think we've already discussed in length, so I will not like talk more about it. Then we have 32, which is the moon. Intuition, illusion, romance. I do feel some people are going to have two options in this pile, and one of them is going to be like flooring you with like saying the right things, and then you might feel more drawn to them, and there might be some other option which is more practical, more correct. So that's one thing. Second message that I feel from this card is actually you and your illusion. Like, I think there needs to be like a good understanding between what's fantasizing and what's reality, and making your reality meet your belief system, staying a little bit more rooted in reality. Like, we all want maybe like a Shah Rukh Khan from whatever, like one of those Bollywood movies, but realistically, what makes up for a doable good living? Maybe a Dhruv from this series called Little Things. So that is how you need to probably see life. I honestly overall do feel as if your courtship period is something that's going to be a great period, filled with a lot of love, gifts, admiration, bunch of experiential activities and things. But for you personally, it might be a bit challenging because there would be a lot of unlearning that you would have to do. So yeah, that was it, pile number 1. Let me just see, now I'm going to be using this book, and let me just see if there's any message in the book for you, and then we will close this reading. Okay, learning to control your... Okay, so this is page 89 of this book called Lessons in Meditation, Learning to Control Your Energy. Our bodies, our health, our happiness, and our thoughts are determined by the level and direction of our energy. When you see your life as a whole like an image on a movie screen, It shows patterns of light and dark. And we have this enormously powerful tool to change ourselves once we grasp the fact that we are merely projections of energy patterns. If we create the patterns in our lives, then it is possible to change those patterns directly. I think this is just tying in beautifully with all the other messages that you had here. Change your pattern, be okay to unlearn few things, and work on your energy and your mindset. I think that is what is going to bring the shift. And I don't know why, I kind of feel as if for many of you in this pile, it's sooner than you anticipate. But your energy is also going to be playing an important role in this. Okay, so that was it, pile number 1. Let me know if any part of it resonated or any part of it you would really want. I wish that happens. Do drop your comments below. Also drop your comments below, leaving the number of pile that you selected. Like if you selected pile 1, 2, 3, because that'll help you in coming back to the reading and maybe get it corroborated later if anything worked out fine or if any part of it came true or not. So yeah, thank you. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Firstly, make sure that you drop a comment mentioning your pile name so that you can always revisit this reading later and know that what is the pile that you selected. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. That keeps me motivated when I see the subscriber count going up, and then I feel like making videos more regularly. So if you selected the middle image, then this is your pile and you're going to get started with your reading. I had a bit of trouble getting myself to sit down for this pile. And there are a couple of messages here. I will just throw those messages as they are coming to me. So the first thing is, I think some people in this pile may be confused between if they just want to stay single or if they really want to have somebody. This thought in their mind might be very strong, that do I really need to have somebody romantically? Or if I do, will I be able to handle it? I just sense this confusion. Do I want to stay single? Do I want to have somebody? I'm okay staying single too. That's one thing. Second thing that I'm getting is that some people in this pile, are very focused on their career. And this is reminding me of the chef called Vikas Khanna. He almost got married 3 times, but each time his career and his ambition came into the way, because of which he chose not to get married. So I'm kind of getting that energy from this pile, that a lot of people in this pile are so focused on living their life, their career, their goals, that they don't really want to compromise, and they feel being in a romantic relationship might be a bit of compromise. Third thing that I'm getting is that there's going to be a mismatch in expectations for this pile, and you would know that if you've checked my previous videos on this series, there might be a slight mismatch in expectations, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means that what you seek, it may not be exactly that. Can it be better? Yes. Can it be a little bit lesser than that? Sure, that too is possible. So I feel like some people in this pile, and I actually don't like saying this, I believe that everybody should have right expectations. But for this pile, I'm getting that some of you may have very high expectations. And you may be okay not having somebody who meets those, because you're I don't want to settle for anything less. So if I don't get that, I'm okay not having anybody. This pile has somewhat similar-ish energies to pile 1. And technically, if you go and check that pile out, the messages are going to be very different. But I feel as if there is some intertwining of energies that's happening here. As if some of you could be in this space, and then pile 1 could be a future. Or some of you could be wanting a pile 1 future, but this might be a reality. So if you have time, if you were also attracted to both of them, then do go and check pile 1 also out. Okay, coming back to this one. Yeah. I do feel some people in this pile are going to be very comfortable staying alone. You might keep on checking readings like this, but it's almost like you're okay being a lone wolf. For some of you, the idea of companionship and romance exists, but you're not sure if you want it yourself. It's got something to do both with ambition, something to do with a little bit of fear. You have a lot of concerns. You feel you have very different expectations. There's no one made for you. So, yeah, those are just bunch of messages that I wanted to get out of my way. Now, coming to the topic of the reading, which is how will your courtship or your dating period be? Unique. I believe there would be a difference in how you thought you would meet your partner and how your courtship period is. Like right now, I want you to visualize what you imagine your courtship period to be. The cards are saying it's going to be different than what you expect. Good different, okay? But very slow, very practical. It will not be like one of those things, where you expect like to be flowed every moment in a courtship period, where like there would be a lot of romantic gestures, or where there would be a lot of these grand gestures like in some romance movie or novel. No, very practical, very straightforwardish, almost like two people getting to know each other. I don't know why I'm also getting a long distance energy as I read the cards in this pile a little bit more. Your courtship period with your partner is going to be very unique. Why? Because it feels like, you forget all these movie type expectations. But then, generally in life, you would not have had a great experience when it comes to romance. However, your partner will come into the picture and they will give you a dating or a courtship period which would feel very fulfilling. But will it be very dreamy? No. Will it be very practical? Yes. You would feel very enriched and very fulfilled. You would realize the beauty of direct communication. You would realize that how you can express your needs and your needs are heard. Somebody understands. But if you're one of those people who's expecting, to be understood, like, oh, I just had like a moody day and they should have understood my moodiness, that's not going to happen. So that is one of the things that I'm getting here, that, some people in this pile now also need to do a lot of work to have a very straightforward and clear relationship actually in their life. Like a lot of movies, romance novels, they feed us these ideas that, I turned my eyes like this and then suddenly the person realized what's up. Those things also get developed and built over a period of time, right? But right now we're talking about the dating or the courtship period. What I feel is, for those who are genuinely interested in companionship and romance, they are going to be out hunting actively, because I also feel a lot of people in this pile are not really actively hunting. They're kind of waiting for somebody to just come and show up at their doorstep, and I don't see it happening. I do feel as if many people in this pile are going to continue to date themselves. But if you are somebody who's actively hunting, it's going to be a very straightforwardish, practical period in your life where you would actually learn that, wow, if I say something or if I communicate something, the other person makes an effort to understand it, to know it in the right light, and makes an effort to understand me, to put two and two together, and wow, they really want to drive this relationship forward with me. Another thing that I kind of see is that I think you both are going to be very, very spiritually driven and spiritually connected with each other. Your faith and your belief system is something that's really going to tie you both towards each other. I kind of also feel as if for some people in this pile, your partner is going to be from a different ethnicity or a different religion. So your faith is going to be very important for both of you, and that is going to be a strong thread that is going to bind you and them together. You would love discussing philosophy. You would love discussing different interpretations of faith, religion, spirituality. You would love the conversations, in your dating and your courtship period with your partner. What I also see is as if both of you would love and like each other in totality. It's like, they would love all parts of you and you would love all parts of your themselves, of them. And why is that? Because It's like, you both are these people who are polymaths, who have a lot of facets to their personality. Very interesting people. And that's why, in the courtship period, what will happen is you both will like slowly uncover all these different sides to each other, and you will love them. Like you would love it from your lens. You would be like, oh, this is exactly like what I wanted. It'll be slow. And that's why I also feel as if, there's something that's going to be different in the expectation. I feel, this expectation has got more to do with a very dreamy, like, idea of romance, and this might be something that's more practical, that's more like really getting to know each other, really being there with each other. Your partner is also going to be very straightforward and direct in their communication. They're going to be somebody who's going to be taking the lead in a lot of things, and you would feel very nurtured and very loved by your partner. The females, it could be you, it could be your partner, they're going to be very much into gift giving. Giving gifts, cooking is going to be the love language of the females in this relationship. For males, it's really going to be like taking the lead. Oh, we wanted to go and travel, I've planned everything, see you at the airport at so and so time. Actually, why see you? I'll pick you up for the airport. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. A lot of conversations around deeper topics of life, philosophy, asking, these random questions that, oh, what if like your someone's mother is like trying to play up in the relationship a little bit, her own dynamics, how should that be tackled? What should be the approach? So I see a lot of these very deeper conversations, like about life. And slowly, like you're both discovering the multitude personality of the other person. Oh my god, they know how to do this also, they do this also, and they like this also, they know a little bit of this also. So it's like, when you meet them, your expectation is going to be like crashing down, and then slowly you will realize, oh my god, this is so much better than my expectation. Interesting. I've started watching this Pakistani series, Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum, and in that, the main leads, they get married like, in an uncommon setting. It's not like the ideal setting for both of them. And then slowly they really realize that how they both are so correct and perfect for each other. So I again don't mean anything that dreamy. What I do mean is that slowly you would realize that you could not have had anybody better than them. They are going to be the right partner for you. And you will discover all this within the courtship period only. So I would not be very concerned. However, this brings me to this card, which is concern. Then there is toil and labor. Then there is expectation. So from these cards, what I'm getting is I do feel as if some people in this pile are really going to be just rating themselves. I think you just keep on watching all these like videos, trying to understand, oh, if there's somebody for me or not. Some of you could actually have Ketu aspecting your 7th house or Ketu in your 7th house. I also feel some of you, could have been divorced in this pile. Could have lost their partner in this pile. And that's why you're going to take your own sweet time into building up the feelings of romance. And also that understanding that, relationship has to really cater to specific needs and not the dreamy needs. Yeah. That was also the first message that I had, but I think I missed out on giving that message. I also feel this pile now just needs to breathe. Not be so worked up about romance. Okay. During the courtship period, I also feel there would be a lot of concerns that you and your partner are going to have, towards relationships, towards solidifying it, towards marriage. And I think you both would actually communicate, wherein I feel your partner, the male in this dynamic, is going to be more proactive in bringing those up and communicating the feelings. If you're a male, you might have to do that. If you're a female, your partner might coax you into doing that and opening up more. Okay. I also feel, this is one of those relationships or one of those periods in your life, like with this partner, where it'll take a little bit of time for you to understand each other. It would require work to also understand each other. Like, how sometimes when you watch these readings, it's like, oh, snap, it would feel like you really understand each other. No. Here, The communication, the way of understanding would take its own sweet time to build. And you would take time to really understand your partner. They would take time to really understand you. And I am honestly a big fan of things moving slow, because I feel that way they are more solid. You get into it more aware. So I feel this is a good thing. I do feel as if, the expectations are going to be a little bit mismatched, and maybe they are also going to be somewhat superficial or frivolous expectations. Like you expect somebody who's as beautiful as Bradley Cooper, one of my favorites, and maybe you don't get someone who meets that looks criteria, but they have everything else. So I do feel something like that could also be one of the things that can happen for you. I think you both are going to have a lot of fun in solving things together, in your courtship period. And I think that's what's going to bring you closer. Like, suppose discussing about, oh, how should we do this particular wall in the house? Or, oh, I'm struggling with some banking thing, and then they might help you out with it. Or collectively, participating in things which is like just discussing randomly about a brand. And, oh, how should they have marketed, not marketed? Or discussing about work with each other and coming up with solutions. I think like you're going to really enjoy those intelligent conversations, where you make it kind of like a project to solve something. Could also be like, suppose if you're watching movies, you might really enjoy discussing the nuances of the cinema, the character arcs, etc. And this is, I think, what will like bring you more closer. I also feel both of you, individually might be people who might need a lot of space. So, also for you, like, if you need a lot of space, your partner is also going to be the same. They would also require a lot of their space. You both are people, who like to work on themselves, who like to understand themselves, who like to unlearn, relearn, and like this, the entire ebb and flow journey of life. And hence, you both would require a lot of space from each other as well in your own little moments, and then you would find ways of coming back to each other. Did I say long distance for this file? I do feel as if there's something to do with long distance in this file. It's like you both might also be forced to take space from each other because, oh my god, we don't live in the same city, and how I wished we lived in the same city. And this is where the right communication and constant communication is also going to be helpful. Okay, let's look at some other cards. When my desires and beliefs are a vibrational match, you receive what you desire. Okay, just want to put the cards and see if there's any other messages first from an imagery point of view. I said long distance, right? Just look at the image of the card. It feels like they both are different. And this is reminding me of that movie, that Bollywood movie Maine Pyar Kiya, where they both communicate using a pigeon. So it's like, do you see that? There was some other movie also, where in long distance they keep on looking at the moon and they're like, oh, did you see the moon? I'm also getting to see the same moon. Sorry, I find such conversations very corny, personally. But I do feel it's going to be a long distance relationship. And that might also be a bit concerning to some people, because you might feel that, I don't know, like, is it really going to work out? Can I really trust them? Wow. That seems a woman, that seems a man, and they both are kind of just sleeping and talking to each other. I think a lot of late night conversations also in this file. Late night conversations are constantly being on phone with each other, just conversing through each other, sleeping over calls with each other during courtship and dating period. That's so cute. I'm getting so excited. A lot of energy of growth and blooming. It's almost like that, the relationship moves so slowly at such a nice and comfortable pace that, you both will slowly realize what really a healthy and a growing relationship feels like. I'm so excited for you guys now. So yeah, beautiful energy, lot of growth, lot of vibrancy, lot of like joy and happiness. Okay, now I'm going to read the messages. It's not about controlling my thoughts, it's about guiding them. Okay, so this card is basically saying that for those like who really seek a relationship, you don't have to control your thoughts, meaning that you don't necessarily have to be controlling about, oh, I cannot think this or I should not think this. But if there is a way to just turn the narrative in your mind, like suppose a long distance relationship, can I really trust them? Change the narrative. How do I build more trust knowing that we are in long distance and I would not get to see them as often? Then it's natural for my body to be well. You do not have to think specific thoughts about your body, but you should not think specific negative thoughts at least. So if you can't think positive, at least stop thinking negative. This card was also there in the first pile, and I do feel some of you need to go and check the first pile also. When my desires and beliefs are a vibrational match, things fall into place and you receive what you desire. It's quite similar to the first message that we have here. Believe. And lastly, absolute well-being is the basis of my universe. You have to take care of yourself. You have to first be very comfortable and happy and open in yourself, and you have to just take care of yourself. I also feel as if, maybe because of the long distance or generally like the kind of unique partnership you may have with your companion, you may also learn to become a little bit more independent. I genuinely feel some people have Ketu in their D9 chart in 7th house or in their Lagna chart in the 7th house. Maybe one of the tiny lessons in this lifetime, doesn't matter if your relationship is great or not, it might also be simply to learn to love the independence and learn to live independently and be emotionally independent. That doesn't mean that you can't have a healthy emotional relationship. All that means is that you're also comfortable being emotionally independent. So, yeah. But regardless, it's a very beautiful energy. It's a very intellectualish energy, between both you and your partner. And this is not to say that there would be nothing cutesy or dreamy happening there. There would be. But you would be so focused on just building a solid foundation in that period that you would be okay, compromising on silly things like, oh, I did not get a gift, or I expected so and so kind of ring. That doesn't matter, but what I have is so enriching, so fulfilling that I would not trade it for anything in the world. Now I have other 2 cards here, and for this one I need the book. Okay, so the first says message, news, information, joy, satisfaction. These are some of the keywords. What we have here is somebody riding on a horse. And the way I see it is, because of the kind of imagery we have here, I do feel it's going to be a long distance relationship. Almost like you could also meet them while traveling. I do feel I've said this earlier in some of my other readings, for this series. You might want to go and check out some of the previous readings. And I do feel like, this is also somebody who might come and surprise you quite often. Like they might randomly just pop up in your city if it's going to be long distance, just to surprise you. Even if you're going to be in the same city, there might be like some distance between you both, suppose if you're in Delhi, it might be like a difference of like north to South Delhi. You get what I mean, right? So I think there would be a lot of traveling involved in seeing each other, and there's a chance of like a lot of surprises that you might give to each other to like randomly pop in to see each other. And then the other message that we have here is it's a beautiful clover leaf. So it's good luck, positive opportunities, things are going your way. What I do feel is, because initially you might feel this is not really meeting your expectation, this is very different from your expectation. And when you will start exploring, you would realize, oh, I would not have wanted any other way. I'm glad I had what I have. Another thing I also feel is, during your courtship period or right before your courtship period, you would actually weed out a lot of people from your life. Like, you would have really come into alignment and like being with like the right people. And it'll feel very wonderful to you when you'd meet this person. Okay, now there's a message from this book. Instead of shuffling it in front of you, today I already channeled a message beforehand when I took out your cards. So this is page 31. It says you need deep relaxation. The brain and nervous system are specially bright, and you can constantly see shifting waves of energy. A channel of light leads to the brain from each of the sense organs, especially the eyes and the ears. Flashes appear in the brain, information is received and processed. Interesting, this card in this card, the keyword was information, message and news. And decisions are made, signals are sent to various parts of the body. Look at someone who's asleep. The body is relaxed and appears dim. The senses have largely shut down and the connection with brain is only a dull glow. When the brain itself, although is active, but the patterns are different during the waking hours. I think what my takeaway from this is going to be basically about that the heart flashes each time it beats. performing various functions. You can see which muscles are tense by looking for hotspots. Sorry, I just wanted to read that. From my takeaway from this page is going to be that, when you're moving towards certain things which are right, your body sends you signals about it being the right decision. And I think this is something that you will also learn as a part of this dating period or courtship period. Your body and your nervous system will feel calm. Ooh, I'm remembering this Instagram quote that I keep seeing, sometimes, which says that don't need somebody who's giving me butterflies in stomach, but need someone who calms down my nervous system. I think that was the message from the book. You would meet this person, and because it's going to be so slow, so sustainable, so nice, you would realize that, while my expectations were all those butterfly expecting, dreamy expectations, this feels more calm. This feels more centered. This feels like it's meant for me. This feels sustainable and long term. So I think with your partner, each time you're with them, you would, if you're somebody who's in touch with your body, you would realize very well within your body that how your nervous system calms down, how you feel happier, how your insides feel joyful and relaxed. And that's where you would know that this is the one. And that's why I would actually say that, maybe your concerns would then start feeling very superficial. That, maybe my concerns, my expectations, they don't really matter. I'm ready to work it on this relationship with them because it feels to be regulating my nervous system. So yeah, that's all that I have for you, pile number 2. Let me know if any part of it you wanted to come true, any part of it resonated. Or if nothing, just drop your pile number below so that whenever you feel like revisiting this reading, you already know what you selected. Alright, see you. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. If you follow me on my Instagram, so you must be knowing I did record the messages for pile number 3 for your pile properly, completely. However, the file got corrupted just on saving. I tried retrieving it. It did not really help. So here I am kind of re-recording it. And I'll just put in the cards and images so you can go and check those. Also, if you're new here or even if you're old here, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. You leave comments on the videos. You can also leave the pile that you've selected. All of this helps me in growing, helps me buy better equipment, which hopefully doesn't corrupt my videos, and also keeps me motivated to keep on making more videos for you all. Okay, let's get started with your reading now. Okay, pile number 3. As soon as I saw your pile, there was one word that came to me, which was irritating. So, how will your courtship or your dating period go? It just said irritating, and I'll tell you why irritating. Honestly, there are many cards which are very beautiful, okay? We have like 2 of cups, we have the Lovers card, we have 9 of pentacles, we have the card of the Death and the Hanged one, which are also beautiful, like if you really know tarot. But why I kept on hearing the word irritating was, it was almost like, as if there's going to be a lot of restriction in your courtship period. So I'll divide the messages in 2 parts. First, if this is someone who knows from the previous readings or who's already in the process of arranged marriage, if you find a partner via that route, which means that there's already going to be a lot of family and other people involved in your relationship and dynamics, right? So the irritating part was coming from the fact that there might be a lot of restrictions by other people on you, or a lot of people might be trying to tell you how to act, how to be with your partner, with their family. And this is where the advice also becomes that, some of you may also have to put boundaries in place, which actually both of you and your partner are going to be very good at discussing these things and then putting boundaries in place, because you and your partner are going to be completely there in terms of understanding each other and knowing each other in your courtship period, okay? I also feel your courtship period is going to be kind of like a journey for some of you, wherein you would start slowly understanding each other a lot more. So courtship period otherwise is going to be full of a lot of light-hearted moments, moments where you would realize that how this person accepts all childlike personality and aspects of you. You see their childlike self and you embrace and accept who they are. There would be a lot of going to pubs, going and trying new foods, new restaurants. You might also plan things as per each other, Like, suppose if you like painting, your partner may take you out, for a date which is about painting. If your partner likes bikes or cars, you may take them for a date or like a auto expo or like something to do about that. So it's going to be a lot more fun in your dating period. It's just there might be a lot of external influences, which might try to restrict you, might try to box you in that, societal way of living in your courtship period, which might irritate you both. Now, for people who are very confident that no, I'm going to find my own partner and then I would get my family involved, the previous message still holds true for you, because at one point when the families are going to get involved, there might be a little bit of restriction and how to be now or not to be now sort of advice is coming from them. But before that, in your dating zone also, what I'm kind of getting is for people who are looking to find their own partner, you might have to go through a bit of a journey first in your mind and heart, okay? Because very strongly I feel this might be a situation of friends turn lovers. A complete friend to lovers trope is what I'm getting here. And I feel many people in this pile, they might already be thinking about this particular friend in their life who might be the right one. But you don't know what you should do about your feelings. Should you explore this or not? So I feel as in whenever you decide that, okay, I need to go ahead with them, even your dating period, may not be something that, oh, we have decided now we are going to explore and then you start dating. Your dating period is essentially going to be that friends to lovers journey. That, we would just hang out, we were just being ourselves with each other, we were this childlike energy, we were just exploring cafes, we were just traveling. And I didn't even realize when did I develop feelings for them, or they didn't realize when they developed feelings for me. And then you might both go through a bit of transition. And this is where now the irritating part comes. You both might struggle a bit with your own feelings. And I think one of you might struggle more with your feelings, okay? You might be like, oh no, friends can't be lovers, it spoils relationships. You may come with certain preconceived notions, because of which you would try to keep yourself a bit restricted. You would try to tame yourself, your feelings, keep it to yourself. And this would just create this whirlpool in you, where you would feel very disturbed, turbulent in your mind about, oh shit, what should I do? And that's where I feel that, suddenly there would be this realization, like a snap moment, that, oh my God, why was I looking all around? The one that I want has always been just around me. My friend is my lover. And that's when the moment you would accept it, there would be a complete shift, I feel, in your life. The biggest thing that I'm seeing is that during that time, you would just see that you're randomly starting to rise in your career. Or there is some massive backlog of your money situation that has been cleared. That would be a big sign. The other sign that I kind of get is it's almost to say that, you already know whom I'm talking about. Or, when you're closer to time, your body and your mind will start sending you those signs. But you would not want to accept it. Because, society, from a society point of view, or from your own personal inhibitions also, you just don't believe in that. Or you maybe feel that, oh, there's maybe slight mismatch in expectations, I'm not sure. But let me tell you, my cards are saying that that's not true at all. You might actually be very happy with them. They might feel the right one. And overall, now, general messages, irrespective of how you get into this situation, I do feel that your dating or your courtship period is going to be a journey that you both take together with each other. It's almost going to be like, slowly, just in the dating and the courtship period, you both will learn more about each other, fall in love with each other more. And every little part that you would discover about each other would only excite you and make you fall in love with your partner even more. One more energy that I'm picking on here is, it's almost like that, just don't care about the society, family, or anything. We just want to be with each other. We are so much in love. So I'm getting a very cutesy feeling, when I'm like reading for this file. It's almost like two people who are hopelessly, romantically so much in love that they're just so tired of, like, oh, why did we have to involve family? Why do we have to do all these protocols? We just want to like be with each other. Also getting a slight live-in energy here for some of you. Like you both are going to be so obsessed and into each other that you would just want to spend all your time with each other, which I also feel is going to be a problem or slightly irritating to both of you. Like, you know how sometimes we get so consumed by our partner that all we want to do is spend our entire day and night with them, and then we realize how in the hindsight it's not good. It's kind of creating this codependency. So yeah, that's also one thing that I think you would just realize in your dating or your courtship period only, and then, you know, like you would put in a healthy distance. You would understand that, okay, this adds value to my life and this is not something I'm supposed to completely get dependent on. For very few, I'm also feeling that as if, you know, you and your partner are going to be in that phase in life where you're going to be very focused on your career, or maybe slightly dissatisfied with your career. And that's why in your courtship or your dating period, you would also be a bit annoyed with the fact that, you know, how financially you would have hoped for like having more resources so you can have more fun with each other. But like I said, for either of you, you know, a biggest sign is going to be that as and when you guys start getting together, somebody is going to have some good inflow of unexpected income, which is going to help you guys. Okay. Now, this is going to be a big transformation or a change for you, okay, during your dating or your courtship period. And I do feel this is mostly for people like, you know, for those friends to lovers trope. And even if it's suppose an arranged setup, I do feel as if, you know, you would slowly learn what it is like to be with your partner and put in healthy boundaries in place when it comes to other people, the third parties affecting your relationship, which is family, relatives, friends. And you both are going to be very good at, you know, like being a unit. Like when it's both of you, it's just both of you. And you both actually might, you know, collectively also decide that, hey, like we need to keep certain people at bay, at distance, and we don't really need to entertain them. The relationship is just you and me. I also feel the female in this pile, whoever's the female, you or your partner, you're going to be very nurturing and very giving. So the moment you'd accept that, okay, this person is the one in your life, you would become very nurturing, very giving. There's also something to do with, you know, having like a very different outlook on this relationship. I think this relationship will just generally teach you a lot. It'll make you realize how restrictive you can be to your own self. What or how limited are you in your thinking or in the possibilities and the magic of universe. Okay, moving on to some other cards here now. So we have a lot of sixes here actually, you know, from different decks, which is basically telling me that doesn't matter how this starts, your dating or your courtship period is basically going to absolutely become about that friends to lovers journey. So even if like you're in an arranged marriage, you might just hit it off initially and then you would be like, oh my god, this person is the one, he or she is the one for me. And in fact, you know, I'm kind of sensing that, you know, when you have this realization, you might find yourself questioning that, oh my god, why was I so silly? It was always them. Why did I simply not see it? So you might just be like that, oh my god, I can't believe that, you know, I was just hunting out in the entire world and they were just right here in front of me all through this time. So I'm getting a very cute and like amazing feeling actually, you know, as I'm reading this pile. Congratulations. I'm also feeling like a little dancey and like dancing, you know, as I'm reading this pile, because there's a lot of positivity and joy and happiness in this pile, you know. It's almost like lovers, you know, like, oh my god, we are just meant for each other. Okay, I'm also sensing a little bit of these white pigeons, and I don't know why it's kind of reminding me of Maine Pyar Kiya and that song Kabutar Ja Ja Ja. I don't know, there's something there, something you did in your childhood related to that or whatever. If you have a crush on Salman Khan, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of pure love energy, you know, like it's unadulterated love. It's pure. It really is love for each other and love for every flaw that you have. Your partner is going to love that. You're going to love their every flaw and you're just going to make each other better. You are going to be a unit. You're going to be us. And this is something that you would just figure out in your courtship period only. I also see you guys traveling quite a lot in your courtship period. I see you supporting each other to grow each other financially. Like I said, a lot of visits to pubs, cafes, trying out new food, new experiential things, knowing how to keep the wrong people at bay and being like, we are here for each other, you don't need to meddle in our relationship. I think it's going to be a wonderful courtship or a dating period between you. Okay, now a couple of other messages. I do feel there's something to do a lot more, with like accepting the childlike parts of yourself also because of your romantic partner. They're going to love you so much that, you would also be very comfortable being childlike in front of them, and so would they. There's also something to do with studies or exchanging notes, letters, exchanging books with each other. Like your own way of like how you show love for each other. Okay? Now I'm going to just read out a couple of the cards. But what about those innocent little babies? Okay. So when I read this card, because I am kind of reshooting this reading, right? It spoke of that, babies start forming vibrations and getting influenced by vibrations much before they are actually born. And I feel this is something to do with your childhood. Maybe when you were in your mom's womb, there were a bunch of things that you picked up because maybe your mother had a bit of a turbulent time at that point. And there's a lot of beliefs that you could also be carrying from your past life which are kind of affecting your current life. I also feel some people in this pile, may have opted for one of those workshops which is about womb healing, divine feminine healing, divine masculine healing, or this is just something that these might be like some keywords that you love engaging with on your social media. So just take that as a sign that if this reading is meant for you. Then it's not about controlling my thoughts, it's about guiding them. One example that I can give you for this is like, suppose if you feel, what if I explore romance with my friend and then the friendship also goes bad if the romance doesn't work out. This is a negative thought, right? How do you guide it? That, there is a possibility that if I explore a romantic dynamic with my friend, it may fall through. So I need to ensure that doesn't happen. What can I do to ensure that doesn't happen? Then it becomes a solution driven mindset, and that's where maybe one of the biggest answers you will get is just talk to them about this, talk to them about your fear. So guide your thoughts, channelize them for right reasons. A consistent formula gives me consistent results. What this is saying is honestly that, maybe you have been out there in the world, you have tried and done things in a particular way. If you were somebody who always wanted to listen to the family, you've done that. If you're somebody who felt that, oh no, friends should be friends and, I should like find somebody else via dating app or like explore love with someone else, you've done all of that. And that's why still you are here. Maybe you're single and that's why you're watching this reading. So now is the time to do things differently. You have to understand that, in a relationship it's just two people, you and your partner. So it doesn't matter how much of good wishes or good thoughts your family or your relatives carry, they don't need to be involved. Similarly, it doesn't matter if you ever thought, I'm never one of those people who's going to like fall in love with a friend. It doesn't matter. It's all about falling in love with the right person, the person who gets you. The last card that I have here is my slightest improvement is of such great value. I feel as if some people in this pile, can be a little bit more reactive. They get triggered very easily, which I'm kind of connecting back to the whole message of womb when you having your mother having gone through some difficult time in her with you in her womb. I feel as if slowly the other sign is going to be that you're nearer to your right partner. Your triggers will get healed. You will get healed. You will become a lot less reactive. Okay, now the other two messages that I have here is you have this beautiful clover leaf number 2. So that's all about luck is shining on you. There's going to be good things on your way, prosperity. Then we have 6, which is the Lover's card literally. And I do feel, with the clouds here, it's kind of saying that, the clouds are going to fade away. So this lack of clarity in terms of your dynamic between you and your friend, or even if it's an arranged marriage setup, that lack of dynamic and like slowly being able to build that dynamic, I think that's going to happen. Very, very, very cute pile. I do feel that, it's like both of you are just going to be there for each other as one unit. One message which I gave was that, some of you might be very interested in pets and your partner might gift you a pet. So that could also be a thing, or you might together adopt a pet. Just one disclaimer I really like to give to everybody whenever I speak of animals. An animal any species, any kind, is a 20-25 year responsibility, comes with a lot of financial expenses, comes with complete accountability. You cannot be self involved when you have a pet. So make sure that if you're bringing a pet, you're not doing it just out of joy or love, you're doing it out of understanding that it's literally like having a real child. And make sure that you're very prepared for it, otherwise, best not to have it. Better than abandoning, bringing home a pet and then abandoning them. So, yeah, that was that. Now, let me quickly also give you the message from the book. So, here I have a message from this book today. I've already channeled a message for you. Like, I already took the book and, asked the book to give me a message. So, we are at page 63. I'm going to read out one paragraph. After processing all the neutral information, we then personalize it and relate it to ourselves through ahamkara, the ego principle. We continually ask, is this mine or not mine? How does it affect me? Will this be positive or negative for me? My body, my territory, my family, my possessions, my opinions. Does this threaten me in any way? Quieten your mind sufficiently to observe your thoughts, and you will see that majority of the mental agitation is caused by concerns about your ego. Interesting. It kind of ties back to the message also, where we are saying that, there might be a lot of people who might want to participate in your relationship. You may have to hear chatter from others about how you should carry it forward. Or for people who are kind of struggling with accepting that one of their friends could be pretty much the one that they have been looking for and having that entire journey, your mind might fool you into asking a lot of questions, having a lot of doubts, concerns. But the message here says that you have to understand that a lot of things are coming from your ego. Now, what is ego? Ego is, you wanting to control, you seeing things in a particular way, you having certain expectations. And when they don't get fulfilled, we start fooling ourselves into believing that, oh, but I deserved something else. Why am I getting this? We don't realize sometimes that, the entire idea is to go with the flow and to be open and accepting towards what universe is throwing for us. Maybe, really, God does have a better plan. So I do feel that a lot of people here, need to kind of keep their expectations, their ego, and, their idea of how they wanted things, which honestly is like a sense of control, in check. And I think this also kind of ties back to the triggers and the reactivity levels. You might want to work a little bit on that to be able to see things for what they are and embrace the new chapter of your life. So yeah, that's all. Pile number 3. If any part of this resonated, if you want any part of it to come true, please do comment below and help me understand if I got this reading right for you. Thank you. Bye.